The invisible workout. Most folks don't realize their brain needs exercise just as much as their body. You see, the mind's a quiet soldier, always working, always reacting, always recording. But if you don't train it, it rusts. I've seen men with brilliant potential lose their grip on focus simply because they never thought to strengthen the machine upstairs. I once met a retired teacher, sharp as a knife, well into her 80s. Her secret? Every morning she read something new, not for work, for the brain. Mental fitness, she said, is the habit of never letting your thoughts sit still. And she was right. The mind, like the body, thrives under pressure, under effort. Let it grow, or it fades. Your brain's best friends. I once sat at a kitchen table with an old fisherman. He didn't say much, but his eyes told stories. Every morning he ate the same thing: grilled sardines, spinach, and a glass of water with lemon. Keep the mind right, he said. Science agrees. The foods we eat aren't just feeding our bodies. They're writing the code for how we think, feel, and remember. Omega-3s, those are the oils that grease the gears in our brain. Antioxidants, they're the cleaners, wiping away the damage from years of stress. And water, well, water keeps everything flowing. Feed your brain well, and it will carry you through storms you never saw coming. Movement builds the mind. I once walked through a small town where every morning an old woman jogged barefoot around the park. She'd smile, wave, and keep moving. Locals said she never missed a day, even in the rain. She wasn't chasing fitness. She was feeding her mind. Exercise doesn't just change your body. It wakes the brain up, like the first breath of mountain air. When you move, something inside you lights up. Blood flows, stress loosens, focus returns. Science calls it BDNF, a growth fertilizer for your mind. But she didn't need science to tell her that. She just knew the walk cleared her soul. Sleep is brain repair. There's a reason even the strongest minds break down without rest. Sleep, my friend, is the workshop where the brain repairs its tools. I knew a paramedic who used to brag about sleeping only 4 hours. But over time, his sharp edge dulled. He forgot names, missed steps. I made mistakes. Until one day, he sat down and said, "I can't think straight anymore." The truth is, while you lie still, your mind is moving, sorting, healing, building. Miss too many nights, and that architecture begins to collapse. Sleep is sacred. Honor it. Mindfulness, the pause that heals. A monk once told me, stillness is not silence, it's strength. He would sit by the river each morning, just watching the water pass. No phone, no distractions, just breath and being. That's mindfulness. In a world shouting for your attention, it's the quiet that heals. When you sit with your thoughts, not to fight them, but to see them, they lose their grip. The mind finds clarity in the pause. And sometimes in that silence, the answers come. Rewire through challenge. There was a factory worker in Ohio who, after 40 years on the same line, decided to learn chess. Not because someone told him to, but because he felt his thoughts growing dull. At first he struggled, lost every match. But month after month, something shifted. He started remembering patterns, predicting moves, seeing ahead. His brain, once used to routine, was now wide awake. That's neuroplasticity, the mind's way of saying, I'm not done learning. We think aging is declining, but really, it's often just repetition. Break the loop, and your mind will show you it still has surprises left. Stress changes the brain. I knew a man once. Strong hands, steady work, never missed a shift. But after his wife passed, the stress hung on him like wet clothes. He started forgetting where he put things. I couldn't sleep. Lost his fire. Doctors told him the stress had begun to alter his mind, shrinking memory, flooding him with worry. He thought he was losing himself, but when he began to walk each morning, write down what he felt, and speak to someone who'd listen, the fog began to lift. That's the truth about stress. It can change the shape of your mind, but it can also be undone, gently, patiently. The gut-brain highway. There's a hidden highway that runs from your stomach to your mind. Most folks don't know about it, but I've seen it at work. A young chef I knew once suffered from anxiety, racing thoughts, sleepless nights. Doctors gave advice, but nothing worked. Until one day, an old naturopath told him, clean your gut and your mind will follow. He changed his food, more plants, less sugar, fermented pickles like his grandmother used to make, and slowly the storm in his head calmed. That's the gut-brain axis. When your belly is in balance, your mind can breathe. The power of connection. I met a war veteran once who said the thing he missed most wasn't the army, it was the conversations, the shared meals, knowing someone had your back. After retirement, he lived alone. His mind grew quiet, then restless, then dim, until one day a neighbor invited him to join a chess club. Every week, he showed up, not just to play, but to laugh, to belong, and something remarkable happened. His memory returned, his eyes brightened, he was alive again. You see, we aren't built to go it alone. Connection is more than comfort, it's brain medicine. The mental reset button. There was a pastor I once knew. Every Sunday, he'd preach fire, but every Friday, he disappeared. No phone, no meetings, just a walk in the woods and a notebook in his hand. It's my reset, he told me. The world speaks loud, but my thoughts whisper. That time alone kept his mind clear, kept his heart full. And when Monday came, he was sharp again. You see, the brain can't keep going without rest. Not real rest. I'm talking about the kind that comes when the world is quiet and all that's left is you and your thoughts. That's when the mind resets. That's when it heals.